This is my salad garden, or I should say our salad garden, because if you come to my house, you can help yourself to it. That's how I feel about our salad garden. It's slowly becoming a food forest. That's a fig tree growing up. There's an apple tree. There's another apple tree. I've got these bushes that are going to grow really big. These are blueberry bushes I've got all around here. And if you go over there, those bushes over there, that's a blueberry tree there. Blueberry bushes are actually a small tree. I don't know if you know that. They're not a bush. That's a 15-year-old, 10-year-old blueberry tree. But today, what I want to do is talk about basically herbs. Herbs. I've got herbs everywhere. And all of the herbs I have, I did not pay for. A lot of the herbs I got as gifts, like this herb here. This here is sage. And this sage was basically given to a friend who had sage, and look how big it's grown. It's become a massive herb. All of this shiso is basically from seed from last year when I harvested and I just threw out the seed. Same goes for all of this basil. This is sweet basil right here. Same goes for this is lemon balm right here. This lemon balm actually I pulled from my farm, and I basically defoiled it because I was making something with it. I needed the herb, and then I replanted the stalk because the stalk had some roots on it. And look, it's grown back. This here is two types of thyme. One of them's already died off for the year. This one here, this is a lemon thyme, and this one here growing in here, this is more of a regular thyme. And I also have, look at this here. This is spearmint growing out into my driveway. Here is some more thyme. Look at this thyme. This guy's not looking so good. Looks like he got pulled up. All right, push that in there. Here is thyme here. This is the other kind of thyme. He's doing really well in here. And I may even pick this guy up and put him somewhere else. As you can see, it's really bushy, right? He's doing great. He's growing, water is trapped, forced down into it. There's soil down here. This thyme is doing really great. There's shade, right? Look at the shade. That thyme there is probably too much in the sun. So location matters. So I put thyme everywhere. Here's a lot of thyme here. And look what this thyme is doing here. This is another great, amazing herb called bee balm. But look, this bee balm here is all from seed. This one isn't doing so well. Well, the reason why is the roots are in this area. These tiles here are basically heating up in the morning, sucking out the moisture. Now, this bee balm is actually growing underneath this thyme. And look at it. Look at the difference. He's not happy. He's fine. Same goes like this sweet basil. He's slowly getting pulled out. You know, it doesn't matter. I can just leave him over here and let the seeds drop, and maybe I'll have basil next year. All of this green onion here is green onion that I bought in the store early spring, and it's still feeding my family. Look at that. All these green onions. And all I do is whenever I want green onion, I just come here, as you can see me, I just bend off, take off. So it's basically my salad, our salad garden. All this basil here, again, is just grown up. And you can see this seed right now. If I grab this seed right here, this is seed. Now what you want to do is you want to grab this seed and put it into little bags. And I can feel the seed. There it is, right there. There's the basil seed. You can see the basil seed in my hand. Right? See the seeds in there? And what I'm going to do is just basically grab these off. They're not quite ready, but when they're dark like this, they're ready. These are ready down here, right? And you can just put them in a bag, and then in the springtime, you can put them out. Here's a nice little surprise. First time I'm seeing it. A little watermelon. Watermelon growing there. Look at that. All of this is all red cabbage. This is actually cabbage I planted in the spring, and it's been feeding my family ever since. And I'm going to let it go to seed, and I'm going to have a ton of cabbage seed. Next year, probably it's going to shoot up and go to seed. Here's not my intention, but this little tree here is growing up. and I'm going to let it grow up. So I've got strawberries in here. There's a strawberry. Another strawberry. And that reminds me, I've got some other strawberries to move. Here is fennel. I got tons and tons of fennel growing up all the way around. And I don't know if you can see it there in the front of the yard growing up there. That's fennel there growing up with the yellow flowers. That's fennel. Different varieties that I have. Again, just from throwing down seed that I collected from a friend's organic farm. This is a Japanese sticky potato, and I harvested the regular potatoes, and then I had planted these too, and basically after I harvested them, these started coming up. So these are going to be good till the fall, and we'll harvest them, and I'll have some sticky potatoes. Again, these were basically from my farm last year that I just had leftovers. I just threw them in here. As you can see, I've got some more over here. And down the side of the house here, I have tons and tons of, what's this? This is anise hyssop. As you can see, the seeds aren't quite ready. And on this side, this is actually green shiso, sunflower seed, and there's bee balm and other stuff. Look at all this. Again, all of this growth, all of this is edible. Basically, I can feed myself. Now, what am I going to do with all these herbs? When you start including herbs in your diet, something amazing is going to happen. It's going to detox you. Now, you might say, well, what does detoxing mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It's going to change the way you taste your food. And a prime example now is McDonald's or any sort of processed food. I can taste the chemicals in the food, especially McDonald's. It is so strong to me, I can no longer even eat McDonald's. So it wasn't a choice to me. I used to love Big Macs. I used to love, quarter pounders and everything else. I used to love getting the big soda. Don't get me wrong. I was, addicted to McDonald's. Well, ever since I started consuming lots of herbs, and for example, I'm making myself a herb shake. Look at all these herbs. Tons and tons of goodness in here. I just went outside, picked my herbs. This is free. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. My taste buds have changed. So I taste it in a way like if you go to a very chlorinated pool that smell, well, that smell that you smell is what I taste. Super strong. It's like ammonia. So I'm thinking that the ammonia that McDonald's and other things and put in their processed food in order to kill all the bacteria, my taste buds have become so sensitive now that I can taste it. I can taste it in certain meats, like pork. When I go to like a yakiniku restaurant where they serve us pork, I can taste it in that, which means, you know what? I don't want to eat that pork anymore. So I'm staying away from any time I learn and I taste that taste. I'm like, my body's saying it doesn't want it. It's like, what is that? And I'm telling you, with McDonald's, it is so strong. So let me show you what I'm making here. One of the favorite things you can do with herbs is to make yourself herb milkshakes. Now, you could simply just put the herbs in, add some milk with some herb sweetener. Now, I will teach you how to make herb sweetener because I'm going to be making lots of kind of herb sweetener. But basically what this is non-GMO sugar that is so, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the sugar particles in there. It's so concentrated, but the sugar particles are actually coming out of the water in there. So it's syrup. It's as most, hold on, I'm going to shut my fridge here. It's super concentrated, but you make it with super concentrated tea. And what I'll do is I'll take a pot like this, I will stuff it so I cannot push any more herbs into it, and I will boil it slowly for a very long time, cooking out all of the herb essence. And then what I'll do is filter it and mix in the sugar into it. It's really simple. That's herb sweetener. And then you can use this herb sweetener, really easy, if I can pull this off, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Watch, you don't need a lot. Just a little bit. Oh, you missed it, but it was just a little bit. Maybe only about, very small amounts. And that is going to provide additional goodness because this is basically supercharged herbs in with your shake and sweeten it a little bit. Right? Now, something you can do if you have your own eggs is add an egg to it. Now, the problem with eggs is you don't know how the farmer raised his eggs. Now, fortunate for me, I have access to organic eggs, so I know exactly how the farmer raises their eggs. Not only that, I'm going to be leveling up my salad garden to include chickens next year. So one of my projects next year is actually getting a coop. We're going to get only about 4 or 5 chickens, no roosters, because we won't, they're going to be pets. And I'm going to set up basically a run for them to run around the garden, and they'll be able to pick up the insects and everything else for there. So in Japan, eggs are raised because in Japan people eat the eggs raw. It's part of the culture. So in Japan, they have very, very high quality for their eggs, and they don't use all the arsenics and all the other things. You have to understand, like in America, I believe we raise chickens in like 8 weeks from using steroids and other, antibiotics and all this other stuff. 8 weeks. In Japan, they do it basically over 8 months, right? Over 8 months. The same goes for beef. In America, we raise beefs from calf to market in something like 9 months. In Japan, they do it on average, I think 3 to 5 years, depending on the quality of the beef and what you're buying. Like Wagyu is like really expensive. So I'm going to put this in. I throw in a couple bananas and the milk and the eggs in there, and now I'm going to mix it all together. And this is a super delicious shake. What you need to understand about food is the closer it is to being in its natural state is the most return it's going to provide you. Here's my mustache. It's awesome. That's awesome. And I haven't eaten breakfast today, and that's going to carry me. It's got my protein, it's got my potassium, and it's got all this goodness. It has the bee balm, which is going to be, it's like that's a herb that's going to fight against cold. It's like the herb you have in your cold medicine, but you're getting it naturally, right? There is the, what else do I have in there? All the herbs I went to. There's the sweet basil, there's the hyssop, there's the fennel, there's the sage, there's the bee balm. All the goodness. And there's a lot of herbs that I'm going to keep adding. So if you've got any seeds with herbs and stuff like that you want to trade with me, you can send them. I started something called the Open Seed Found Up, exchanging seeds and everything else with folks in the community and around the world. And that's a whole new talk. Thanks for watching. My name is Michael Trout, and don't forget to click here and become a patron. When you become a patron, you're actually getting shares in my company. You're getting virtual currency. You're getting access to a lot of videos and other stuff and white papers and everything else that other people just don't have access to. So for as little as $1 a month, you can get all that. So why not support a new vision for saving our planet called FoundUps? And you can go to foundups.com and read and watch and learn all about it. Thanks a lot. Michael Trout, signing off.